maybe she can say something about you. You know, she could say, this Kes guy, he's going to be perfectly fine, doesn't have to worry. Wouldn't that do? Wouldn't that make you feel just so much better?
I don't think that there's a lot of getting out of this for me. I'm more than happy to wait for Zelene. You can all go home. You can tell Eb to go home.
No, we've already decided we're sticking around at least another day, making sure this Zelene's all right. Then we'll head out.
Okay,
All right, let's go.
Okay,
Let's find her. All right.
I'll find a place for us to stay.
Don't nobody know how the life will go. If you listen close, though, you can hear the dice roll and the characters narrating everything as they go. So let it go, let your imagination flow.
Playing games with strangers, chasing dreams into new adventures, rolling dice around their tables, fighting nightmares, facing dangers.
Let's go ahead and rewind back to where Mama Eb steps outside for some air.
Like, what good air it is out here. Crisp and clear.
Actually, when you step outside and you take a deep breath of air to kind of clear your head after that huge emotional info drop that the cat gave you out of a fit of frustration, you breathe in and it smells like cinnamon and cloves and nutmeg and just a hint of vanilla, perhaps some lavender.
Does that just seem like it is the air? It's not like wafting.
You didn't notice it like that when you came in.
Okay. I could get used to that. If I wanted to talk to the little voice in my head, do I just talk to it?
Yeah.
She will.
Just, hello? You don't know if you're listening right now, or if you can hear me. Are you in the Feywild?
Is that where we're at?
Yeah, it's not my favorite. Not gonna lie to you, I wouldn't suggest coming here.
I have never been here. This experience is delicious.
Yeah, but there's not a lot of water. Or...
I don't know how I am here without water.
Well, I'm here, and I don't necessarily need water to survive, I just want water to survive. Yeah, just a quick question that I had for you. Talking to a real weird cat.
Is that slang?
No, it was an actual cat that was talking to me. Yeah.
How bizarre.
Yeah, I thought so too. Awful rude, but most cats are, so that's not too surprising. Anyway, so, just wondering, is there something that you're doing that makes it so I can't go home? Just curious.
I do nothing but linger.
Okay. Well, the cat just said something weird, which I don't think I believe, but also they said some things that I do believe. So, one of the things they said is that you're the reason that I won't see my son that's potentially alive, and also more children involved in that situation that I don't know. But they could be there, I suppose, unless he's just really, pulling it from who knows where.
I know not what this cat is.
I don't either. But I do know that if my son's alive somewhere, I'd sure like to see him again.
Indeed.
I don't know if you have, the ability to peek around the area, keep an eye out for him, and whatnot.
I shall endeavor to do so.
Okay. Yeah.
Do I trust the voice in my head?
That's your own decision right there. That's a you thing.
Does what she said sound genuine?
Make an insight check.
Probably. That's a 10.
I mean, it sounds as genuine as any other time you've talked to it.
That's fair. Okay.
Yeah. I really don't suggest it here, and I'd sure like to be close to the water again. But I gotta wait for Zelene.
It is wet.
Is there anything you want to see while I'm here, though? I'll, find something new and exciting.
You just hear it. As you say, is there something you would like to see while I'm here? You hear it.
Everything.
Well, know that's a lot to see. This is a big place, but I'll see what I can.
Very good.
And on that note, not the one that you chased, but another one of the insectoid people comes up to you and goes, hello.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Do you speak common?
I do. Pugoglam had told me that, taught me to speak to you.
He taught you to speak to me or just to speak to people who speak common?
To people who speak this language.
Okay. That would have been real weird if it was the first one.
No, we do not have the arts that the cat have.
Well, cats aren't the best at art from what I've seen, so you're probably doing okay.
But he has brought enlightenment to our tribe.
Well, that's always nice. We love to learn.
He has instructed me to bring you and your tribe to your quarters. He says some may be leaving.
Yeah, I don't know quite what they've decided inside, but some of us will probably be staying at the very least. That's awful kind of you. Would it be easier for you to write it down? You don't have to speak common if you don't want.
Oh, no. I so seldom get a chance to do this. Perhaps you should check with your and as she begins to say this, the door opens and the party begins to exit the hut. Come, I show you to your staying quarters, she says as she looks at the rest of you. Those of you the guys who come out of the house, you recognize this individual as the one who was on the roof with Zelene's skin, although Zelene's skin is no longer tied around her neck like a cape.
Hey, look at her! Look who's here!
Wait, that's skin lady.
Take us to where they're doing the skin stuff.
Right.
We don't necessarily need to see the skin stuff because that's gross, but we want to make sure she's okay, and we want to be there for her when she wakes up.
She is asleep, right? Or are you doing this with her awake?
I am not doing this.
Well, not you, but just the general,
Royal you.
Yeah, the royal you.
What is this skin stuff?
Putting the skin back on her body.
I do not know.
Could I
am not a part. I do not.
Could I ask?
Where'd you bring your cape? The skin, you were wearing it?
Pugoglam.
You brought it to the cat.
Hey.
So, like I said, just take us where that's being fixed, and we'll
I do
wait.
not know where this is. I was instructed to bring you to quarters.
Okay, that would be fine.
50 cents, you mean? Get 2 quarters,
no.
50 cents.
Where we're going to stay, Clyde.
This way, please.
Ladies first.
Everlene's gonna fly real close to her.
So as she leads you around the town, she's trying to give you as good of a tour as she can. She brings you around. She shows you like where the armory is at and the local stores and restaurants and stuff like that. Just trying to explain to you what's where and get you kind of acclimated. And she shows you to some rather nice looking houses. Like these aren't huts. Like these are more permanent fixtures. And she goes, these are reserved for our most honored guests. And she bows as she steps backwards, kind of gesturing that this is where you will be staying while you're here.
Oh, swanky.
Dude, that's fancy.
Why are we honored guests? We don't have to stay here. We can stay somewhere.
Because
lesser.
we are. And she just kind of nods with a slight head tilt to the right in deference to you. And she goes, because you are royalty. And because we are aware of the inconvenience you are having right now as we try to help your friend.
Well, maybe these people aren't so bad.
Well, thank you.
Cass, are you royalty, dude?
Okay. Well, then thank you. Thank Pugoglam as well. Does anyone need anything before they leave?
Yeah, I need to know where this is all going down. What's happening here? This is not what we asked for. Not what I'm looking for. I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
I think you could use a little patience. That's probably what you're looking for is patience.
No, I think I'm looking for answers. I think I'm looking for a specific location.
Right. But sometimes finding answers requires patience, and
I don't got time for that.
No, you don't have the distance for that.
Makes sense.
The Selang in front of you bows again. She goes, "If you need anything, my name is Sudio."
Oh, it's such a pleasure to meet you, Studio. How do you spell that?
Spell. What is this spell?
Well, just for note-taking purposes.
Right, if you want to write it down for Mama Eb.
We do not spell here?
No. I saw some writing in the other town.
That is not our writing. We just say the word.
Say the word.
An oral sort of storytelling, then.
Right, we say the word. So,
Studio.
Su.
Whoa.
No, Studio. And with that, Studio kind of steps back and just stands at the ready for you guys.
Are you just gonna wait with us?
Hi.
Oh. I mean, if you have other things to do, you're more than welcome to go do them.
This is my job.
Well, would you like a cup of tea?
Would you, the body, I know, we're just trying one more time. The healing place, or, that might be it, where there's healing going on, medicine.
She just looks blankly at you.
Eb goes inside the way.
All right, she's got no answers. Let's go. I'm looking.
Well,
and I'm walking. Edwin and I are walking.
I'm going with Fenwick. I'll be back. Nice to know where we're staying. We're just going to take a couple laps.
Would you like a translator with you?
Is that you?
That would probably be helpful so they stay out of trouble. I would like to turn in for the time distance being. What?
You're going to sleep for a couple miles is what you're saying.
Right.
She reaches up and puts her hand on your shoulder, and she looks you in the eye as if to explain to you the correct vernacular, and she goes, "For this portion of the trip." And she nods. And then she walks off after Clyde Fenwick.
Okay. I'm going to sleep for this portion of the trip. Fair enough.
As long as no one tucks you in.
I will be taking the sheets off the bed.
Eb comes out 3 minutes later with tea, very confused where everyone went.
As you come out with tea, because there are 3 houses. Which house did you go into?
The first one. I don't know. She's setting up. The kitchen is now Eb's.
Though Eb, when you walked into it, it was much more grand and much more much physically larger on the inside than it is on the outside.
Yep. She just sets about making tea, not realizing that everyone is leaving while she's putting a kettle on. And
I'm assuming by this point you've come back out and see Cass is getting ready to go into one of the houses. Clyde and Fenwick are gone. Jura is standing outside with Everline.
Oh. You guys just staying out here then?
Well, I wasn't entirely sure which house to pick. And then I also kind of don't know what to say to Jura over here. Because while he seems like a real cool dude, I'm bad at conversation.
Oh, well, do you guys both want to come have a cup of tea? And I'm good at conversation for everyone, so...
I'm down.
Jura?
You okay with that, Jura?
Jura's looking up at the sky. Well, normally I just like to talk about the weather. I don't know what else to speak of, but I'm not sure.
I would love to talk about the weather.
I know so much about the weather, but very little about it here. I'm not sure.
Yeah, did you smell the cinnamon?
In the sky?
Yeah, you just take a whiff.
Jura, as you take a whiff, on the smell on the air that you're picking up, there's a little bit of sandalwood, the smell of some foreign exotic spices, a slight tinge of incense, and then just a little oaky follow-up on the end of it.
I think Jura is thinking, He's a little destabilized because he's just so used to the salty smell of the sea. This place leaves him feeling literally out of his element. Some tea would be lovely, Eb.
Wonderful. You guys can come right inside. I hope you don't mind that I've kind of taken over the kitchen in this one.
Well, Evelyn, actually, tell me more about your history, because you have a rat mother, and then you also have a Master Siofra, and both of these people seem to be significant, but in very different ways.
Is Master Siofra also a rat?
Master Siofra is an elf.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't have wings like I do. See, I'm a half elf, half fairy. I've never met my mom or my dad.
Well, you've met your mom now, kind of.
I question if that rat was truly my mother.
I do too. She gets like a espresso glass for Everline of tea, and then...
So you grew up not in the Feywild, right?
That's right, my dude. I grew up in Parva.
Oh, well, if it wasn't such a big city, I'd say, why haven't I seen you before? Do you think that Master Siofra is the sort of person that would send people to murder you if you left without notifying him?
Oh, no. He's... might as well be my dad.
Yeah, but dad can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people.
I don't think Master Siofra would do that. So he's the one who taught me how to fight and how to use a knife. He's the one who started my wizard training.
Well, it does seem like somebody may want you dead, as we learned shortly after meeting you.
I just wonder if they're not used to fairies, and they think that I'm a fly.
That is possible, but I've never seen anybody attempt to eliminate a fly from 100 yards away with a blowgun.
It does seem awful unlikely.
The city does have all sorts of people.
I was wondering that myself, but kind of got distracted with the whole lack of skin, and then the Nick, and then, all the other stuff that happened.
We do live in a world where they make a slingshot with rock salt to take out insects, so anything's possible.
Well, sure, but sometimes the easier answer is really the right one.
And they thought I was a bug.
Well, no. Is there a reason why you think someone might want you dead?
No, I've never met anybody outside of Va until the last few hours.
Sorry to interrupt. Ebora, do you have any snacks on you? Any sort of food?
Well, yeah. Of course. Would you like a snack?
Yes, I would. I'm going to
Right.
step outside for a moment, if you don't mind.
Do you want your snack outside?
Yes, I would.
Okay. Do you want me to bring it to you?
No, I'll take it and then I will go outside.
Okay. Well, alright. Are you okay, Jura?
I'm splendid. Yes.
Okay. That seems alright. Well, here you go. Give him a little collection of nuts and dried meats and...
Oh, yes, that should do nicely. That's probably perfect. Yeah, that's probably what they would like. Yes. Very good.
I'm sorry. Hi. It's me again.
I'll see you in a bit. Thank you. It's out the door. He's going.
That was weird, right?
Yeah, part of me says I should follow, and part of me says he's a grown man, so he can do what he wants when I give him, nuts and meat. I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna be honest with you.
So, Jura, you go outside, and now what?
Well, Jura's feeling confident that he can make something happen here. He's going to direct his attention to the trees.
Yeah, as you step out and you look towards the trees, it stops jumping from tree to tree.
Jura is going to tip his hat down so it is covering his eyes, and he is going to move maybe 20 paces closer. And I think he's going to plop down on the ground and lay out the snacks in front of him. Maybe give it about 3 feet of berth and just sit.
Okay. It's still standing in the tree, but it is just staring at you.
Jura will whistle at it.
Okay. As you whistle at it, it mimics your whistle back.
Juris, look, he's still going to keep his eyes away from... He's not going to make eye contact with it. He'll just say, hungry?
It says back. It mimics back to you in Everlene's voice. Yeah, my people really aren't good at converse talking. And Jura... I didn't know what to talk to Jura.
Not hungry? Do you want food?
It mimics back to you in a familiar sounding voice saying,
Oh dear God, take her to the hut outside the village with the skin. Gotta get her back in here.
Okay.
And then it starts to repeat.
She must be looking for a vessel. She must be looking for a vessel. She must be looking for a vessel. She must be looking for a vessel.
Who is she?
As you say that, this thing drops to the ground, and it stands about 8 feet tall, but it hunches down on its... basically, it's like it sits down like it's sitting on its heels as these large wicker horns come off of it and these sickening, glowing amber eyes. You know how every species has that sense of where it's at in any kind of situation as far as food chain is concerned, where they acknowledge what's before it as either predator or prey? This creature is so far off the apex predator side of that scale that its presence has a weight in front of you. And it looks at you, and you hear a brief whisper, also in that familiar mimicked voice, saying,
Because she's the mother of demons.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting.
And as that utterance comes out of his mouth, you feel a slight tremor in the ground as it mutters that. Then it looks down, and you see a look of concern go across this thing's face, and it hops up in the trees and jumps off into the treetops, out into the woods again.
I think at this point, Jorah's gonna search his mind for... I don't know how much he knows about fiends and about demons, but he's gonna dig out what he can from his memories about anything that could go by that moniker.
I'm gonna tell you this is gonna be a very hard check. I'm just gonna preface this. Go ahead.
11.
Yeah, that's not gonna do it. Sorry, but you do have some dried meats and nuts sitting on the ground right in front of you.
Yeah, I think Jorah will eat his snacks now, and go back inside.
All right, so yeah, you head back inside. In the meantime, did you two ladies have any kind of a conversation?
We were probably just chatting while we were sipping our tea.
Yep. Just, girl talk.
All right. Well, gentlemen who went off to find Zelene, as you head through town, where specifically are you going?
I'll say we do a perimeter thing.
I am
outside in.
I was going to suggest a spiral from the inside out, but...
Or we could just do like zigzag across. We do outside in.
Let's start walking.
All right. Well, as you guys do what can only be described as meander through town, you get a real feel for how this semi-nomadic tribe seems to operate. And Tsudio gives you kind of a general synopsis of how things came to be as you guys are walking through this town looking for healing shops, or how you're best trying to explain it to Tsudio. And she explains to you how they were incredibly nomadic until the great event, which you guys kind of correlate with the Day of the Tentacle or the Great Cataclysm, or however you were trained to call it. They speak of the arrival of... They're talking to you about the arrival of Puggleglum, and how when that cat had arrived, it had, because prior to the cat's arrival, they operated more off of stimuli rather than rational thought. And Puggleglum brought reason to the tribe, which had allowed them to further advance and as a species, basically. And just kind of talking that out with you, and they take you by several doctor offices, and after brief interchanges with these doctors and pharmacists and drugstores, you don't find Zelene in town. Although you do find that the technology they have does differ tremendously from what you are used to.
Well, you were right about one thing. There's some very interesting things here, Fenwick.
But not the interesting things we're looking for.
No, that is correct.
Well, Susu Studio, I think we need to walk around outside of town now a little bit. Are there any other towns around here? Any temples outside the town here? Maybe a couple minutes away?
I do apologize, sir. I am not permitted to leave the town.
Can you just tell us about it then?
I am not far along in my journey to be permitted, so I do not know what lies beyond.
Where are you not supposed to go?
I believe Nandes. I believe it is called the Tree Line.
Is there anywhere in town that you're not supposed to go?
No.
That's what I was thinking. It was Tree Line. Well, you might just see if there's something right outside.
Maybe some paths.
Make sure you keep eye contact with the town.
All right.
It doesn't. Well, okay.
Is very easy to get lost.
Oh, first we'll look for paths. Paths.
Then I shall return to your friends, as I cannot go towards the tree.
All right, you tell them what we're doing.
Well, it's been a pleasure. Yep, say we're looking in the woods.
For tracks or paths or something.
I'll bet there's just some sort of little cabin right outside where no one else is supposed to go.
As you say that, you feel a tremor in the ground. It's a very slight earthquake, not enough to do any property damage, but enough that you feel it.
Was that you?
And then Studio gets a very concerned look on her face, and she goes, "This is not good." And she starts to run towards your friends.
Bye. All right.
Okay.
So now we're walking the perimeter, I guess, to see if we can find a cabin just outside of the trees or just inside the tree line.
Yeah.
Shortly after that, you do notice that there is something that jumps through the treetops off into the woods as you are circling the skyline. As you begin to walk the perimeter of the town in this state of perpetual dusk that seems to be the Feywild, you don't seem to notice anything that would resemble a trail, nor do you see any specific cabins.
Well, this isn't boding well. Another theory is biting the dust.
As you say that, Clyde, can you do me a favor and roll a perception check?
Love to. It's 12.
You see off in the distance, just above the treetops, is what looks like a circus tent walking through the woods.
Oh, well, now, that's interesting. There's some sort of big top, and it's moving.
And then as you point that out, and Fenwick, as you look up, you notice a series of smaller circus tents that seem to be walking behind it.
That means something. That's something.
That's not nothing. That's for sure.
Yeah, you're right. It's not nothing. It's something.
I'm thinking we should check it out.
Yeah. Let's see if we can go check out what these.
Now I'm going to tell you right now.
Circus big top tents.
If it all goes sideways, this was your idea, not mine.
Hey man, I'm just trying to get stuff done, you know? So Studio said not to lose eye contact with the village. So
one of us looks at the village. Yeah.
I'm going to sit on your shoulder, right?
Yep.
And you watch the tents, and I'll watch backwards and watch the village, and Hedwyn will walk with us right beside you, okay?
Okay, no problems with this.
And between the three of us, we won't get lost. It's going to be great.
It sounds like a perfect plan. And we
right.
do it. That's what we start doing.
All right, you get right up on that tree line, and as you start to go towards those walking circus tents, Hedwyn digs his heels in. He will not go further.
Buddy? Come on, buddy.
You're going to have to make a persuasion check on this one.
Persuasion?
Yeah.
All right. Or not animal handling?
No, this is definitely going to be a persuasion check, because this animal does not want to go that direction.
10.
Yeah, you kind of pull on Hedwyn a little bit, and he reluctantly goes forward, but yeah, he's with you.
All right, buddy. Yeah. Stick with us, buddy. All right.
All right. Meanwhile, back at the houses, Tsuruyo comes through the door. She goes, "Hello, I am Tsuruyo. I am here to be your assistant."
Oh. Hi.
Oh, your friends told me to let you know that they are going to go check for cabins in woods.
I've heard bad things about the cabin in the woods.
That does not sound like a great idea.
Well, okay.
There was tremor.
There was trauma.
There was tremor.
That's different, yeah.
Who spoke the forbidden name?
What?
We don't know about any forbidden name.
Oh, I do know about that, actually.
Oh.
Come again?
Do share, my dude.
Yes. Well, I didn't say the forbidden name, but there is a forbidden name. I think probably for the sheet.
Oh. How did you find it?
I spoke to, I had something close to a conversation with one of these little wicker beasts.
Oh, the little tree things.
Yes. A bit limited as far as the sounds they can, the grasp of our language isn't perfect, but they do well. They do all right for themselves. You just wouldn't find them giving public speeches anytime soon unless it was someone else's. Anyway.
What does this have to do with anything, actually?
Well, I asked it what was going on, and then it started talking about how...
Oh, no, I just meant the tremor.
I think that this sheet is attempting to manifest here, and actually may have been looking to use Zelene's skin to do so, which is why our new friends were so eager to put Zelene's skin back on her body, which works out well for us, but is probably not the best thing to have happening right now.
And you got that all from a tree.
Yes, and I will say that the moniker that it gave, the name which I shall not be uttering, was very concerning.
Could you write it down?
I think that is perhaps an even worse idea.
But why?
Okay.
The sheet... Well, I'll give you...
Actually, Jura, right after you say that, Tsuruyo goes, We do not write here. We just say the word.
Yeah, but
and we do not say
we're
that
not
word.
supposed to say it, so... Could you mime it?
Well, so you know how... It is a... The sheet is a mom. It's a mom sheet.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And if the mom sheet is... It's a very bad sheet, right?
So it's bad sheet? What?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a bad sheet with a bunch of smaller sheets underneath it that it has birthed.
Okay. Sounds like a laundry nightmare.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Well, I don't know too much about these sorts of creatures, but I do know that they're not well liked. And it seems that she is in quite an elevated position amongst them.
Okay.
So her appearing in any measure here would be very bad for everybody.
Yeah, I think we established that.
But, like, extremely bad. Like, really, really bad.
Okay.
Terrible.
All right, so once again, I don't mean to be rude. It just seems like people like to throw out a lot of things without a lot of solutions to back them up.
This is new information for me, too. So, there's only so much I can... I'm just telling you what I heard.
Yeah, I mean, do we want to brainstorm a way to make that not happen? Do we want to just kind of pretend? What do we want to do here?
From what I know about these creatures, even the smaller ones, we are out of our depth. In fact, you and I, perhaps literally, I'd like to be much closer to my beloved ocean.
I would as well, so I'm kind of not in my depths. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I'm more inclined to take Zelene and go, because these people seem to have some wonderful measures for dealing with aforementioned pile of sheets, and we should just leave them to it, I think. They've taken care of our friend, and that's good for them, and not my problem. So,
I mean, I would agree. I think that's a good plan. As soon as we get Zelene back, we just go.
Yes.
Which is also why you thought maybe Cass should go home now, instead of waiting, since, it seems as though there's the sheet after him.
Correct. And, I was on the fence about that situation. Sometimes people just need to let go and move on. But I do think that if that moving on means going to that particular version of eternal slumber, that perhaps he needs a change of sheets, so to speak.
Well, we'll see what we can do about that. So, Esudio, hi. Just a quick question for you. So they just went wandering off into the woods, they did?
I did tell them to stay within view of town. I cannot go. I am not far enough in my journey to be able to go past the tree line.
Right. Which I understand. I also wouldn't send you out in the woods alone, although I do think it could be helpful to have kind of a human benchmark to come back to. Perhaps. If you...
I am not human.
Humanoid.
She just blinks, like that concept was lost on her.
I'm not human as far as races go either, but we do fall into the larger, genius of humans as far as the breakdown goes. But that's neither here nor there anyway. Could you take me to where they were?
Hey. And then she gestures out the door. Who all's going?
Do you guys want to stay here and maybe I'll just make sure they don't die, or do you want to come with?
Dude, I'm gonna come with because that sounds like it's gonna be funny.
Okay. Well, I'm hoping that funny's... I don't want bad to happen, but funny's also not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for real quiet and tame.
With those two?
3.
3? Oh, I forgot about Headwind.
4, if you're counting Headwind.
Kaz went to bed.
Oh, Kaz went to bed. I didn't see that. Yeah. I was making tea, so... Okay, well, I'm glad Cass is somewhere safe. Are we sure did we check his bed? What with it being a sheet? No.
Pretty sure he said he's taking the sheets off.
You're not here. You can't reassure me in that way. I'm just saying, maybe a different mom needs to tuck him in to make sure it's safe, is all. Anyway, Jura, that's not me telling you that you need to tuck him in or insinuating that you're a mom at all. I was just going back to my previous thing to see if you wanted to come with.
Yes, I would love to join. That would be delightful. I do think that perhaps we have expended all of the words that ought to be said about the situation. Should perhaps turn to action now.
Sometimes I just can't tell if you're serious or you're being sarcastic because you're so deadpan about it.
Well, sometimes the,
Okay. Lead on, Studio.
She takes you out to the edge of town where she had left them. And the problem is that they did decide to do a perimeter around the town before they left off into the woods. So you do not see them out in the woods. As she tells you, This is where I left them.
Okay. Fenwick! Clyde! You guys out there? Hello?
Can we hear?
No, because like I said, you guys started doing a perimeter before you went into the woods. So you are not where Studio had left you.
She's just gonna kind of go around yelling their names.
Okay. So you're going to do a perimeter around the city too?
She's staying like within the town, so Studio can stay with him. But yeah.
Right. No, I'm picking up what you're putting down. I mean, if you guys want to try to do some kind of tracking to figure out where they're at, you're welcome to. I can't just throw things out at you guys.
Well, a 12 for survival or nature, depending on which one. It's 12, no matter which way you slice it.
It would be a survival, but if anybody else wants to roll a...
Say 17 for survival.
Okay. That's going to do it. So Jura picks up some hippogriff tracks, which makes sense because they're not native to this land. It's been a hot minute, and they do go off into the woods. Your passive perception, you said, is...
16.
Okay, yeah. As you are just sitting there squinting your eyes, you can see the kind of like vague shadows of people way far out in the distance into the woods. And as you look beyond the treetops, you do see what looks like the tops of circus tents walking in the woods. And behind the largest one, you see a large chicken foot come up and then come back down again.
This has been Playing Games with Strangers, featuring the vocal talents of Amanda Clements, Ben Avery, Celeste Mora, Dave Clements, John Michael Bilezikian, Josiah Crandall, Katherine Bilezikian, and John Haryu as our DM. Edited and scored by Katherine Bilezikian. Thanks for listening.